Okay, so it's ready now to start decorating and building our pages. So I've just gone over with a pencil. You can see now this is number 1 and it's that way up. So this is the one without flaps. So I'm going to keep it quite simple. I've chosen 2 of my papers. So they're coordinating ones from my Graphic 45 pad. So from this 8x8, I have cut it at 7 3/8 by 5 5/8. So that will then fit onto my pouch. So when I cut it at 7 3/8 that way first. So then this is the leftover piece, and that's going to go inside here. Okay, so we've got a really nice thin black border around the edge. So then with my second piece, so this isn't the one from the back. I've chosen a totally different page because I'm going to double this up onto page 8. So if I'd used the back of one of these, I wouldn't have had enough because you only get 3 sheets and I needed 4 to do these pages. So I found another page which matched and I cut it at 7 3/8 tall, and for the pocket I wanted it 2 7/8. So that left me with quite a big piece of leftover here. So what I've done with that is I've used it for a belly band in a later page, but I'm going to use the new Brad Closures from Cool Katz. So I've managed to cut 4 of the circles. I'll just grab the belly band from the later page. So this was the belly band, but I actually cut it out from the back. So I got all that out of one page of 8x8. So that's how I cut it out. So I did my belly band right to the edge so that I had enough room then to cut out my circles. So I'll just put that back ready for the next page. So these closures, I've cut 4 of these, 2 for this page and 2 for page 8, which is going to be a mirror image of this. So I'm going to start off by doing the closures. So let me just grab my foam mat and 2 of these and 1 of my strips. So I want it to go here. So the closures are going to come here. So I need them on the left hand side. So the way I've done mine is I've taken my sheet, I take my ruler and I've measured 1.5 inches down. And I'm just going to place this. If you look closely, there's a little score line there. So I'm lining my score line with the paper there. I'm butting it up to the 1.5. And I'm just going to take my piercing tool and do 2 holes there. And repeat it on the other side. So 1.5 inches in. This is just to make them equal top and bottom. You could just eyeball it. And let's just make them a little bit bigger so the brads can go through a bit easier later on. So I've got some really tiny brads. I don't know what size they are, but they're the smallest I've got. And what we're going to do is just place them through, turn them so that the legs are going top to the bottom. Make sure I don't cover that hole. And try and get them as flat as I can. So I don't want the legs to overlap there. Let's just keep them separate. So you can see the nice brad detailing there. And let's just do the second one. So I'm out of shot. And the second one. So this is probably the fiddliest part of the whole thing. Everything else is pretty easy on this page. Oh, to say, I did take some black soot distress ink and I have gone around the edge before doing this on all my cut pieces. Okay, so I've now got my brad legs opened, and I'm going to take the tape and I want to make sure it goes over all this to keep it all in place. There we are. Okay, so let's bring back page 1. Don't need the brads anymore. So some glue, and it's easier if I turn it over. So this is why I haven't put my pages into the album yet. So I'm just leaving a little black border. Bring in my Teflon tool. Get it all nice and flat. Okay. So now I'm just going to add that coordinating paper to the front. Okay, so flipping it over. So it's not going to hold yet, so I'm going to add some magnets. So I'm just going to take a couple of small pieces of my score tape, place them on the circle, take it off so the sticky is exposed, and I've got some magnets here. I'm going to take some more of my score tape, a bit longer this time, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to place it running top to bottom, place my magnet on top, and again here, place the magnet on top, and then I'm going to close my, and because of that score line, you can actually flip it back. There we are. So you could just put the magnets in there, but it's not much maneuverability, not much space, but I quite liked these new dies, so I wanted to use them. Or you can make your original page a bit longer, but then you've got to be careful then, you might end up using more of your paper, especially if it goes over 4 inches, because that paper was only 8 to start with. So you could still get quite a nice long pocket page. Okay, so that's page 1 almost done. I'm just going to put some more tape on top of these magnets just for, it's a bit long, the paper to actually adhere to it. So again, and the other one. I'm making sure I'm getting the glue right to the edges. There. So I've got my liner and I've got my pocket cover. Now I'm going to do the same on page 8, which is the last one. So I've already started this one. Now what you've got to remember is when you're cutting these pieces, if you've got a directional paper, make sure when you come to this and you've got some pattern continuation that you've cut it the other way round. So your thin strip, then your thick. And then that'll go inside there. So it's just a case now of taking the tape off. Again, I've done my black edging on these pages. I'm just going to go around the magnets as well. So here's page 1. Get it up a little bit more. Just be careful because you have got that score tape. So it will grab quite quickly. This then was that leftover piece from cutting that cover, which is going inside. Let's get my Teflon tool again. Make sure you don't cover that join there, that score line. Here it is. And then just tie in from the front. It's not very straight. And then just score from this side, just burnish it down. So that's page 1. And then page 8. Oh, sorry, should be this way around. No, it shouldn't. It should be that way around. There we are. We'll go that way. Okay, so I still got that piece to go there, and I've got a couple of the circles left to do, but it's exactly the same. So we have our 2 pages matching front and back. Now, you've got this nice big area here. If you wanted to use the newer archway dies, make sure you cut it before you glue it down though. That would fit nicely in there, but I wanted to keep it nice and plain because I really liked these patterns and I liked these closures too. So that little movement there, especially when they come down and clip. Okay, so that's page 1 and 8 complete. So next, flip over for number 2 and grab page number 3. And we'll get right to it.